ride, HappyCow. Hi, I'm Ken Spector with HappyCow, and we're here in Bologna, Italy at VeganFest, and I have the pleasure of talking to Paola Maugeri, and she is, boy, you do a lot of different things. You're an author of an amazing book. You were on MTV Italia, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
And we're really here today to talk a little bit about veganism and talk about your book.
That's
and
great.
Pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Yes.
I'm actually your Italian version.
Yes, there you go. And actually we would...
Eco-vegan.
And in Italy we would greet
Mwah.
like that.
Fantastic, yes.
So can you tell me a little bit about, I've heard so much about your book. I first heard about your book in Milan. I saw it for sale at a restaurant.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
and I was
in
intrigued.
a vegetarian restaurant.
Yeah,
I
it was
guess.
a vegetarian restaurant,
Of course,
yes.
yeah.
And I asked someone about this book, and the person said, "Oh, this woman lived without heat and without electricity for a year in the winter," or something along
Super
those lines.
weird.
Yeah, I said, "Wow, this is my kind of woman." So I'd love you to talk a little bit about what your book, this means. This is in Italian. What does this mean?
Well, actually, this is like my no-impact life.
My no-impact life.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
And I used to live without heat, but
Okay.
not without red lipstick, as you
Yes,
can say.
yes.
Because we're like kind of, we try to be like kind of beautiful eco-vegan.
Tell me a little bit about what your experience was like for those people who haven't read this book.
I think it was like one of the most intense, I would say the most intense experience of my life. It was fantastic because I started being vegetarian when I was 14 and then turned vegan 15 years ago. So it's like 32 years of kind of vegetarian
vegan
stuff.
lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Being vegan is something that makes you so conscious that you can understand how much waste there is in our lives. Mm-hmm. And I really wanted to try, instead of talking, it was time for action.
Yes.
And then I said, okay, I'm gonna try on my own. And I've got like a child, he's 6 years old, and I live with my father, who is now 82. So it was like kind of 3 generations try to do something which was kind of special. We started like November 1st, and for 1 year, we lived like this in the simplest way. But the funny thing is that we were in the heart of Milan, because
Mm-hmm.
people think that to make a change in their life, they need to go and live in the countryside.
Right.
But it's not like this.
Yes.
I mean, you can make a difference being where you are.
Mm-hmm.
In Buddhism, we say you can make a difference exactly from the place where you are in that moment of your life. So
Right.
then I wanted to try. And it was like the biggest, the wisest, the most fantastic experience of my life, because then you can realize in this Western world how much waste there is in our life, how much useless things we are surrounded.
Right.
But I want to go back to the essential.
Mm-hmm.
And realize how many things we've got in our heart instead of things that surround us. My father and my son reacted in a fantastic way. So we went like just in a bicycles or like buses.
Mm-hmm.
We ate only things which were of the season, so no tomatoes in January, no strawberries in October.
Right.
And of course nothing
But you
coming
bought
from
those at
animals.
the store. You couldn't grow them in the winter here.
No, of course,
right?
but
Okay.
I was asking like farm, biodynamic,
Biodynamic. Okay. Yes.
to send me things like every week.
Okay.
So no stores, but I was waiting every Thursday for this big box arriving, and it was like a surprise every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're so much used to go into the supermarket that we think that things are growing all year long. But it's
Right.
not like this.
No.
So it was fantastic that then like opening that, and we're not used anymore to see, let's see what nature is offering us this week.
Yeah.
Because it works like this with
Sure,
nature,
sure,
but we
sure.
don't know that.
Sure. So
And-
let's put you 4 months into your 1 year with no electricity and this sort of austere lifestyle, or very much different from the modern lifestyle.
Yeah.
Were you having any doubts whether you could make it for a year doing this?
I had tons of doubts, and sometimes I was like crying, because when it's like 6 o'clock at night, you already eat. You already ate,
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
And then you're supposed to put in bed like your son, and the day is over, because when you live without electricity, 6 in November in Milan, it's dark.
Right. Did you use candles or anything?
Yeah,
or
yeah,
no?
we use candles.
Candles, okay.
And then the thing is that I had a lot of time to think.
Right.
We are not used to think so much nowadays because we're totally taken from things which are surrounding us. And from 6 o'clock at night, when my father and my son were going to bed, I had like all night long without computer, no Twitter, no Facebook, no telephone, no nothing. And even the books I were trying.
No MTV?
No MTV.
Oh.
And even the books I was trying to read, it was kind of difficult with the candle.
Yes.
Or I had one of those, lamp
Yeah,
you were
sure.
charging.
Of
I had
course.
like a muscle like this after 1 year.
Right.
But it's not that comfortable.
Right.
And then what do you do if you cannot read or using technology? You think.
Right.
And it's fantastic because you can do like, how can I say, but like trip inside yourself and adjust the things, fix things inside yourself. And it's fantastic. It was like after this year, I was like brand new, happy, and felt a lot more strong and convinced and committed.
Yeah, I can imagine. As far as veganism in general, veganism uses much lower impact than does eating meat in general. So just being vegan without the other stuff, you're already creating a much better planet. You went the extra leg to create something in your life that was almost zero impact, other than perhaps the candles and a couple of things, deliveries.
Well, it's impossible to live zero impact.
That's, of course, in a modern world. As you started to bring power and things back into your life, you probably have a much greater appreciation now for power and heat and other modern conveniences.
Totalmente.
Yeah.
There's no way that now I can leave like the light on, because I'm so much respectful about these things that I didn't have for a while.
Yes.
That even because during this year I didn't buy anything which was like essential. You know what I mean? So now that I have to buy something, I really think about that thing if I really need it. So I don't let myself being involved.
Right.
From like the marketing laws, but I think with my own head.
Yes.
And this 1 year of no impact life gave me back like my wiseness and my, we say in Italian, senso della critica, my sense of critics. I don't know how to say, but I was starting again to think with my head and realizing how many things we can do in our life. It's no time for talking anymore. It's time for action and for changing things.
We agree. How are you involved in the vegan community in Milan and throughout Italy?
Well, now it's getting big, but you're from United States, which is like paradise for vegan people. I remember when I was working for MTV, going to like the United States interviewing Bon Jovi, you're coming to San Francisco, like interviewing like rock stars and stuff like that. And I was saying that I was vegan. It was easy. I could get something to eat. In Italy, it's something which is getting bigger now. But I'm super happy. Did you see how many people were listening to my conference?
Yes.
It was like unbelievable.
You're also a great speaker. And
no, thank you very much. But it was like kind of, it was impossible to think that about like 20 years ago or 10 years ago when you started being vegan.
Right.
But little by little, there's this beautiful way of saying, Buddhist way of saying, which says that, help me to translate that, but a long trip starts from a single step.
Correct.
Does it make sense?
That's right.
So I'm in a path. I'm traveling during this path,
Yes.
and let's see what's going on. But things are getting this is like a revelation, a demonstration that things are getting interesting.
Yes. Do you have some tips for people watching this interview about veganism when they come to Italy? What things they should look for? For instance, if I go and I buy a traditional pizza in Italy and I purchase the pizza with no cheese and just vegetables, is there egg in the dough?
No, something which is super important. So first of all, you have to look at HappyCow. HappyCow. I was in Bolivia once.
HappyCow, what's that?
And I checked like in HappyCow where I could go to eat, and I found a place in Bolivia. So very good.
Right.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
And then asking for strutto. Strutto, I don't know how to say that in English. This is the worst thing ever you can eat, which is kind of pork grease. Does it make sense?
Strudel?
Strutto. So you have to ask for a pizza where there's no cheese, no eggs, okay, of course. But like in the impasto, I don't know how to say that, like in the...
In the dough?
Yeah,
in the dough they put pork grease?
Exactly.
Really?
Which is called strutto. So if you come to Italy, ask if there's no strutto.
That is a great tip.
This is the most important thing. It's like my main thing.
Yes.
Eating strutto is too much.
Yes. What I saw, a friend of mine actually had a passport which has in many languages.
From the Vegan Society.
From the Vegan Society, yes. And it's got in different languages how to explain to someone exactly what a vegan is and does.
And my favorite is like there's even in Esperanto.
Yes.
You can say I'm vegan in Esperanto. I think this is great.
So you have your little passport with you.
I've got my passport.
Yes.
with me.
That's awesome. That's the way to
That's
go. That's the way
super
to travel. And as far as restaurants that you've enjoyed throughout Italy, or recommendations you would have for people coming to Milan, Bologna, Rome, Venice, what would you recommend they do as a vegan, as a maybe a more interesting experience?
There are two restaurants that I would like to suggest. One is in Milan. It's called La Sana Gola, which is like a macrobiotic center, but like vegan, kind of macrobiotic vegan that I love it. And in Catania, Catania, which is in Sicily, where I come from, there are a few places very nice, like La Cucina dei Colori and Haiku, and you should go to Catania. It's a nice place where to go.
It's a good one. Good tip.
Asking for strutto, and please make sure that, because here, I don't know how to say that in English, but you know, like prosciutto, that kind of thing, salame, they are called affettati. Affettati, and
Familiar
people,
with the
they
word.
think this is not meat. So if you say you don't eat meat, watch out, because maybe they can give you that kind of thing, because they don't put together the thing that even it's not like a piece of meat, it's meat. Does it make sense?
Yeah, of course.
So no affettati, no strutto, watch out.
What is your favorite vegan restaurant in the world?
I tell you now, because it's like a German name, and it's like in Zurich. It's the oldest vegetarian and vegan restaurant. Iltel, it's called. Like in Europe, they opened that like in 1800 something, and they do this unbelievable like it seems like raw meat. But it's not raw meat, and I went that for my birthday, and while I was eating, I asked to talk to the chef, because I would really want to make sure it wasn't meat, because it looked like meat. And of course he said it's not meat, but they've got this secret recipe which is unbelievable, so you should try that. And I found a very nice place in Salta, in North Argentina, close to Bolivia, like a vegan restaurant inside a house of one woman called Rosita, like this, like my mother, that's why I've got this. And she was making like a meal for every vegan who was like in town. So it's super nice. You can like ring the bell, and she will give you some meal. Some vegan meal to eat.
And there's one in Milan that is absolutely amazing, Gioia.
Yeah, because Pietro Lehmann is a great cook. He's a great chef. He's a very nice person, and Gioia is fantastic.
So, well, thank you very much for speaking with me today. We'll do it I'm Ken with HappyCow, and this is Paola Maugeri, and she has a wonderful book called La mia vita impatto zero. Is that okay?
But I will follow your site.
Okay, good. Follow. You can like us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/HappyCow.
I will follow you on Twitter.
Follow it, and you can download our apps as well. Thank you very much for watching, and this is Ken from HappyCow. Bye-bye. The Healthy Eating and Living Guide. HappyCow.